somewhere in 2012, but we came into the limelight around 2015. So 2015 till now, we've been
7 years running.
Yes, every year we do something marvelous. So we are still on course.
And we'll get to where you share experience with us, how year on year there has been any improvements as to the things you do for these kids in deprived communities. But what actually inspired this move? Because for a gentleman who is young and upcoming, and you're married as well,
Yes, please.
how are you able to handle that, and then family, and then also personal stuff? What influenced this?
Thank you so much. I started this before I got married.
Okay.
So before I got married, I told my wife, this is where my interest is. And this is what I think I've been obliged by God to do. So I need your support. And she also gave the consent. So immediately she came in, she had no option than, as I said, to join. So from 2012, I got married somewhere 2015.
Okay.
So,
around that time, the time it started.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2015, I started with this mobilization of items for the deprived communities. Actually, I didn't know how to go about it because as an individual, how do you get this sort of money and other stuff for these deprived? Actually, it's not only for children. It cuts across up to the oldest in the society,
people,
in the deprived communities. So I started with a donation of clothes. So it got to a point I saw that I wouldn't be able to give items to these people every day. So I had to add what we call the advocacy work, where if I get to a place and I see a problem and I cannot solve it, I can put it across so that people who are benevolent and also well-to-do can come in and support. So it's been like that till now. But we are still pushing. It hasn't been easy. As we said, we will come there where we will share our experiences. So we've been to, I've been to more than 20 communities in deprived communities. And basically now, though we have national licenses, we operate most in the eastern region of Ghana because of finances. So we are praying that as time goes by, we'll be able to push forward.
So these 20 communities are in the eastern region?
Yes.
So basically these 20 are in the eastern region. Okay. Yes. So what are the peculiar problems? Since it's one region, of course it will be easier. What are the peculiar problems in these 20 communities that you visited? Which ones were very, very touching that you really needed to do something about? And also if you can speak about the first project that you ever did in the community.
Okay, the first project, before I come to the peculiar problem, the first project I did, if I could remember, it was March 2015 at a village called Baware.
Baware?
Yes, in the Equipment North municipality. So we went there to donate farm implement and clothing to these people. Actually, before I will go to a place, I do surveillance survey, do research, collect data before I move. So I saw that they had that problem, and from our conversations and meetings upon meetings with the leaders, they told me that they would be happy if I could get them some of these items for their farming. So we provided cutlasses and other spraying machines for them. And then we moved on to 2016.
No, before you get to 2016, like you just mentioned, don't they have an MP?
They have.
Okay.
You know, in P, we have this adage, say, so sometimes I presume that these MPs and the ministers, they can't solve all these issues. So when
is it an agri community? Is it an
they are
farming?
They are peasant farmers.
Peasant farmers.
Yes.
Okay. So well, we'll put that aside and let's go 2016.
2016 too, I went to another village called Abenevia Also, Abunavia is now, it was formerly under Krapinov, but now it has gone under the Okre district.
Okay.
So 2016, I went there to donate to them for them. It was clothing.
Okay.
So we went to give them, and fortunately, there was a lady over there called Mary. She had this eye tumor. So as the sharing was going,
you used fortunately.
Yes, because on the part of the lady, she met.
That's fortunate.
Yes, yes. So as the sharing was ongoing, this lady was somewhere and she couldn't come to where the crowd was. So after everything, I went to her. She had then covered the hair with a scarf. So I told her what's wrong, and she opened, and I couldn't stand it. So I asked her problem, and she said she has an eye problem, and for 4 years now she has been in the room. She doesn't go out. So something just struck her to come out and see what was going on. I said, wow, I'll try my best. And God being so good, we were able to do publications and other stuffs. And through that, I got somebody from Jamaica who came to me at Latte, paid all the bills. Then I had started, I had to opt for some loans to the commercial bank to support her and the children. And God being so good, this woman,
she has children.
She had children, and unfortunately they were all not in school. So I had to help her in funding for them, and it got to a point. This woman came in also to support, and lo and behold, the daughter had now finished senior high school.
Wow.
Yes, and after everything, after the surgery in 2017. We had to give her some sort of capital to start business.
Yeah.
And now she started with, she bought a motor at the village, working for her. And she told me that she want to set up a coastal business.
Hey.
And I said, wow. She started with porridge business.
Okay.
Had an account at the Cropon for her. Give her the seed money. And now she's through. And I think we are moving. That was 2016. And we also had, apart from the donation, we also did a surgery for one Martin Atrams too. He had a hernia and hydrocele, and we had to I had to go for, we call some trips and loans. Teachers, we have some loan that we do. I went for some to aid the boy, and because I saw that why should I allow someone to die? That young boy, he was then in KG1. He hasn't committed any crime.
Hernia.
Yes, and hydrocele. So I took the boy to Children's Hospital. They did the surgery, everything, and now I think the boy is in class 4 now.
A teacher has been taking loans to be able to solve people's problems. At large, how do you think of trying to pay it back? Do you ever think that, well, there will be the time where you'll not be able to pay? There will be the time where that difficulty will be there, and so you might not be able to continue some of these, because taking loans to do certain things, it's risky.
Yes, it's risky, and every time I tell myself that my name is Isaac, and the meaning of Isaac is laughter. So I wouldn't do anything that will end up in sorrow. And at the end of the day, I also meet people and say, okay, you are doing this, but I will not concentrate on what you are doing. I also come in and support you personally. So I always see myself like, this is what God says I should do. So let me do it. So God will also take care of me. And it's a challenge if you don't have a wife who understands your ministry.
Exactly.
Yes.
Even the pastors are not getting it easy.
Yes. Yes, and it's been hard, but we are still pushing. And now, when we got to 2017 also, people started seeing us. They started bringing items, and 2017 we were at Kutuase, Hele, Obobi, Takase. We went there to do donations of item farming implement, and we did advocacy on teenage pregnancy. Yeah, with the teenage pregnancy issue, if you allow me to say something, when you look at reports by Ministry of Health from 2016 to 2020, we had almost 555 555,000 teenagers, over 555,000 teenagers who got pregnant.
Yeah.
And these communities that I just mentioned in 2017, we had, if based on our own statistics, if you group 10 teenagers, you will get about 6 who have gotten pregnant through these menace. So it was something which was on our heart to push through. So we went there, we did the advocacy, and God being so good, it ceased. And now those communities are a bit out of that.
So let me quickly ask you to touch on what you did to be able to have it controlled, or to be able to have it managed, because other people are also doing it, and it looks like it is still it's not gone drastically, but it looks like as though some people are still getting pregnant at their teenage ages. So let me know exactly what you did.
Okay, as a teacher, I've been in the teaching service for 14 years, and we have different methodologies, and we use the role play method most often when we get to these Nigerian communities with these men. We do the role play. I go with musicians. I have bankers.
Okay.
So when they go there, they use themselves as examples to motivate these children. So you know, these village people, when they see people like that, they become so much elated, and they try to, copy their lifestyle. So this has been our way of doing things. Then we motivate them, then frequent visit. We take them as our friends. Some of them, we visit their houses individually to talk to them. And through that, we are paving way.
Well, like you've joined in the conversation, Isaac says his name means laughter. And so all the things that he does, he's only making sure that as he goes, he adds some joy in someone's life. Though he's been borrowing or taking loans to be able to do those things, he's still not deterred, because he knows that, well, one day it will pay off. And to have a supportive family, I think that's all there is for you to be able to succeed in this life. It's not just you, especially when you have people around you. You should be able to buy into the idea and help you achieve that goal as well. It's not easy. One major factor for teenage pregnancy is poverty, where because of that, someone might want to lure a young girl into his bed or defile that person just to be able to have their way. And you know, they are now coming up, they might not be able to know how to take care of themselves, and then it happens that they get pregnant. Someone even told me that somewhere in the central region, you have to give them key soap, and then you are good to go. Just key soap, and you are good to go. It tells you how hard it is to come by key soap, or even a bar of soap to wash in some parts of this country, especially the central region. Last week I saw that the regional minister was complaining bitterly about the recent hike in teenage pregnancy. And so maybe Isaac and his team might want to focus on the central region to be able to tackle that problem as well. Then later they'll come to Jamestown and then some Accra areas to be able to tackle that as well. Or that is not your...
It's true. Central, actually now I've collated some areas. Edina Guafo, Jumako Enyang Esiam. These areas, I have collected some names that I'm going to tour probably this year.
Okay.
Yes, I had some interviews and I got to know that some even give them fishes.
Fish?
Yes.
Fried fish or fresh fish?
Fresh fish. If you give it to them, they give you the chance to have sex with them. And this is also something that we need to deal with. Because when you take even Eastern region here, from 2016 to 2020, we had about almost 57,000 teenagers. We are losing our children.
Yeah.
And UNFPA came out that in 2015, their report, that every year we get about 16 million teenagers. And almost about 3 million die of unsafe abortion. So we are losing our future leaders. And I think we should all, those at the higher positions should all trickle down and let's come together and battle this. Most often we tackle the issue on the side of the girls. We forget about those who lure
the
them.
men said you always focus on the girls. Meanwhile, the men also have problems. They also have issues.
We went to Obobiekra, whilst we were doing the advocacy, one guy just passed. I am so the issue is multifaceted, and we need to tackle it from each side. We need to talk to the boys as well. Then when you go to, I think last year also I did something at Benhin as a documentary on the,
I think I saw that.
Yes. And the boys have now stopped schooling and they've entered into Okada business, and at night they just do this Indomie for the girls. So they are using the Indomie as a bait
to get them.
So that is the issue now. So we are concentrating on the girls, but the causative agents, who are the boys, have now been relegated to the background. And these menace should be tackled from both sides. So I think as we are sensitizing the girls as well, we should
be able to
talk to, and also some of the parents. They push their daughters.
But there's no money. If there's no money, they're pushing you to go out there and work, go out there and get something to do and bring money home. And for the person to bring food, I'm not sure they care how you got the food.
Yes.
And yes, they've eaten and they are full.
And this has also called for our women empowerment project. We came to the notice that we are tackling these problems, but what are the bases for them? And we also came out to see that the parents who are not working, most of them are single parents. So why don't we find ways and means of supporting them so that they can also control their children? You can't control me if you are not fending for my life, but you can perfectly do it if you are able to fend for me. So we have started that one as well. And this year we are looking at having Yalaga Kwekwe Fum,
all in the Eastern region. After these names, they only tell you how deep rooted they are in the region.
Yes.
In some corners. and I want to follow you one of these days to one of the areas, because sometimes when you visit these areas, it's interesting how
you will love it.
They behave, even with the slightest help.
Yes.
You give to them.
Last week, I was in this community. This is me on the community. We went there to give. This was 2018, but last week too, I went there to donate whiteboards. And
so that they'll be able to use markers.
Yes, and their head teacher told me that they were the first school
to get
in their circuit to use whiteboard. So in 2018, we donated to them As I Grow.
Wow.
And we gave them branded their size book. So they are now calling them Miawani International School. So you can see this was 2018. Last week too, we handed some to them because it got spoiled. They called me and quickly spoke to one or two friends, and we mobilized funds and went to donate to them. Last 3 weeks too, there was a school. For 10 years, they have not beaten drums in the school. So most of the children have stopped coming. There's a school on there. Yes, this is it. So we were there to donate these drums to the children, and they were so much elated. And
of course, yes.
I had the information that their number was down, but now it has risen to 70. They were around 50 there. Within 3 weeks, they've cut up to 70.
So how does that, all these things that you do, and getting the feedback you've just mentioned and some others, how does it make you feel?
I feel so much happy, and it's like at least I'm also impacting some lives, and people are now getting access to education. All these children would have been in the house. Somebody might, let me tell you, your wealth is seen when you are able to touch lives. Right now, it can happen that you have about 1 million Ghana cedi in your account. Nobody knows it, but the number of lives you touch determines your wealth. So I see myself that I'm rich.
As a rich, you are for these communities you go to and the help you give to them.
Yes.
Yeah, it takes a rich There is mind to be able to.
I also thank my team so much. They've been with me. Some are even bank managers, and they will stop their work to follow you to these communities. So, some are physician assistants, nurses. They will stop their work just to follow you. They've been my backbone, and I thank them so much. So, though it hasn't been easy, we are still pushing.
Yes, as for push, we'll continue to push. And so, how can someone help? Either accounts by accounts or Momo numbers, or how they can even reach you, at least if they want to also partner you in some of these activities. How can they reach you?
Okay, you can go to our Facebook wall, social media. As I Grow organization is there. You can also touch us on, I think my contact 0246 319 523. Then our Momo number 055 3901 708. As I Grow. So these are some of the areas, and we have our website too.
Okay.
You can go there and verify www.asigrowworld.org. And these are some of the areas that you can see.
Which will be the biggest thing that will happen to your organization? The biggest thing you are yet to do, where you want a collaboration or a support from a particular institution?
Okay, actually this year we have on our agenda that we want to provide 80 boreholes for 50 communities in these deprived areas. My sister, I will show you some of the pictures. You can't watch them. We need water for these ones. So currently we are working on getting 10 from now till June. Then the rest might follow. So I will be glad if we can have institutions, organizations.
Okay, so you have to mention the numbers again, and then we'll call it a wrap.
Okay.
Yeah.
My personal numbers.
How they can reach you?
Okay, 0246 319 523.
Okay.
0246 319 523.
Isaac, you've done very well and continue to do good.
Thank you so much.
I think you're the few people whose names have really impacted on them, and we are seeing them as they live as well. So to any other person out there who's called Isaac, I hope that you're also living this kind of life that, as the name connotes, it's laughter. I hope you're being a happy person and also putting smiles on the faces of people. We all need each other in these hard times, not even just in hard times, but you know, it's not everyone who had the luxury to go to school. Others wanted to learn a trade. The little support you give to someone may take them very far. Isaac, thank you so much for coming.
Thank
and
you
I pray that you get
the
necessary support that you need.
Amen.
I said I'll get in touch. So I might follow you to one of the villages because I want to really go back to that thing when I was in school. But thank you so much, our viewers who were able to tune in to watch. We say a big thank you to you as well, and thanks for watching. We hope when it's time, Isaac will also appeal to you, and then you'll be able to extend help to Isaac and to everyone living in the deprived communities. We'll see you same time tomorrow. My name is Anastasia, but thanks to the technical team and everybody, my producers and the directors, we say a big thank you to you. But tomorrow, if God permits, we'll meet again on AM Ghana Show. Enjoy the rest of our programs. It's bye for now.